cheap fragrances that smell expensive. Obviously there are a lot of fragrances out there and a lot of them are pretty expensive. A lot of them $100 or more. And most people, I would imagine, either can't spend that much or don't want to spend that much on fragrance. So what kind of fragrances can you buy without destroying your wallet? I've compiled a small list here of fragrances that I think do pretty well. They smell quite luxurious while still being very affordable. And I'm going to start with one, which is one of my new favorites. It's kind of a niche option. This is from Old Navy. This is Sea Salt and Fig. And it's a very, very simple fragrance that does really, really well in pretty much any occasion you can think of. Sea salt and fig, those are the two main notes in this fragrance. And you would think that would make for a boring fragrance, but it's not. This is super refreshing, elegant, feminine, natural smelling fragrance. And it's very light. However, because it is affordable, you can just put on however much you want until, it's potent enough. This reminds me of the seaside, going to the beach, obviously with the sea salt note. And that's just so refreshing, especially for the summer when it's really hot. And the fig note adds just a touch of sweetness to that sea salt note, which gives it this really great balance. This is, like I said, one of my favorites, especially for the summer because it's so easy to get bogged down from the heat, but this is like crisp and it's pretty affordable. I want to say it's around $20. I don't know in store. I've seen it on Amazon for about that price, but price probably kind of changes, but this is definitely a very affordable option. Then, if you want something not quite so fresh, but instead very warm and heavy, I would say Youth Dew from Este Lauder is a really, really good option. So this is a very old fragrance from 1953 is when it came out. Old. So the thing about this fragrance, it was massively popular throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s, probably the 80s as well. And only in more recent decades has it kind of lost its popularity. But this was specifically formulated, when it came out in the 50s from Este Lauder, specifically formulated to be a luxurious perfume that the average woman could afford. The suburban moms could afford. Today, this is about $30. I'm pretty sure I got mine for $30. This is an extremely spicy, incensey, balsamic sort of fragrance, very heavy. If you don't like heavy perfumes, this maybe is not for you. If you do like heavy perfumes, you will probably like this. It's also very spicy. It has some cloves, cinnamon, and lots of florals. So this is a very complex, very interesting, timeless sort of fragrance. And like I said, it's like $30, and this is a pretty nice sized bottle, a good looking bottle. So good choice if you don't want to spend too much money on a very potent perfume. It will last all day, 8 hours at least. Then, if you want something a little bit more pure floral, I would go for Lemon from Coty. So this is also a very old fragrance. This is from 1927, I believe. The reason I like this one in particular, I always say, whenever I mention it, this smells extremely similar to Chanel No. 5. The great thing about it is it's less than $20. I want to say it's $18. The main differences from Chanel No. 5 that it has, it is quite a bit lighter than No. 5. Mainly because I think this is an eau de toilette, so it's gonna eau de toilette, so it's gonna be lighter compared to the eau de parfum Chanel No. 5. Besides that, it is a bit lighter because it doesn't have like the civet notes, some of the musk notes that No. 5 has, so that makes it a little bit lighter, more floral, and more powdery. But it shares so many notes with Chanel No. 5. It's a floral aldehyde fragrance, and it's very, very pleasant. You could tell it's that classic elegance. A little bit powdery, just a very, very nice classic feminine scent. And like I said, it's like $18. Maybe the price has gone up, but it's still very, very cheap. Then, this is a classic from the 80s. This is Lulu by Cacharel. So the thing about this is one of the most interesting fragrances that I've tried. It's very exotic. It has some strange notes. It has like a Tahitian flower, and a bunch of florals and maybe some fruit notes. It's a little bit powdery, a little bit sweet, a little bit fruity, you know, a little bit of everything. And yeah, very, very unique. If you want to step back into the 80s and wear something no one has probably smelled in a long time, this is it. I mean, you will stand out wearing it these days. It used to be very, very popular, but I guess popularity declined in recent years. But again, because no one's wearing it anymore, wearing this will make you stand out. And it's a very pleasant fragrance, like I said, slightly sweet, kind of tropical, floral, that sort of thing. Also, this is quite affordable. I want to say it's around $40. I don't remember exactly. It is very affordable, definitely under $100. So very good choice. And last one I have is a classic, perhaps the classic of classics. This is Red Door by Elizabeth Arden. Everyone knows this. Some people, I've seen a lot of people say, Red Door reminds me of my mom. My mom always used to wear Red Door. And that's pretty much because Red Door was, and kind of still is, one of the most popular perfumes of all time. It's a very, very classic floral scent. There's like 24 floral notes just in this fragrance. There's also a honey note, which I always like to mention because it's kind of a unique, sweet note that brings everything together. I also find that it's quite powdery, very clean linen, powdery sort of fragrance. And just because of that, it's really, really great for wearing during the summer or the spring, you know, whenever it's getting a little bit warm out, because it is so fresh and powdery and floral. It really keeps you refreshed. And like I said, it's a classic choice, classic femininity. And Red Door is very, very affordable. I usually see it for about $30 for a bottle like this. Of course, it depends on a variety of things, but I would say $30 to $40 is what you would expect to get for Red Door. And it does have really good longevity as well. I would say 6 hours, maybe even 7 hours, depending on you know, a variety of things. But yeah, really good choice if you just want, you know, something that 99% of the people are going to enjoy, a nice, simple, floral fragrance. And that is my list. So that's all I have to say about affordable fragrances that smell quite expensive and luxurious. So if you have any opinions or questions about these fragrances, you could always leave those down in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.